Hello and welcome to the Cognac Room. I am your host, Jay Christian, and I have my lovely co-host here with me tonight.
Hello, hello, hello.
This one is Lately by Des Mac. It's streaming on all platforms. Go give it a play, listen to it. It's hot.
Listen, lately a lot of things been on my mind. Trying to stay focused really on this grind. Only a matter of time, we all gon' shine right in life rhymes. Felt like we was traumatized, we were going on dimes just to ease our mind. I'm back home for the weekend, cruising down the streets. It's like I got the juice the way how they treating me. Inspiring, really tell them go follow their dreams. And you can do anything, you really just gotta believe it. Take action, show them you ain't acting. Thumbing through some band-aids, my hands get to cracking like we was playing Madden. Me, Dre, Twan, and Sweets, all winning, let's match it. Higher than a kite right now and can't stop laughing. Notice a lot of things, family is really everything. And if you affiliated, it's all G. Man, y'all know me. I go by Des Mac from the Midwest to the West Sea or the West Coast. It both go Versace, Cologne. Your home, I'm in my zone. She's still in disbelief. How I fled my home, I speak it to existence.
What's up, everybody? What's going on, Petra? How are you tonight?
I am good. How about yourself?
I'm good. Cannot complain. It wouldn't do any good if I did.
Not really.
So, you know how it goes.
Lately, there's been a lot of conversation about when, no, let's not say when. A lot of conversation about trips. And if you are being, what the old girl say back then, they flued out. And taken on a trip by a man, you are automatically expected to put out. There was a post about a woman who had got flued out, and she was at her room, and she said, I'm in the room, I'm in the spot. He said, okay, cool, I'm gonna come over. And she was like, nah, I really don't want to hang out tonight. The dude was like, excuse me? She was like, I don't really want to hang out tonight or whatever. I'm gonna just chill. And so he was like, okay, well, I'll just bring food over there and stuff. We can chill if you don't want to go out another night. And she was like, nah, I'd rather just chill by myself or whatever.
Yeah.
And the conversation went on, and eventually dude was like, she was like, I like you, but not like that as a friend and whatever and all that. And I ain't really come here for none of that. And he was like, okay, cool. He didn't, go off on or whatever. He was like, that's cool. I'll pay for tonight in your room. And I think she was there, beforehand for a few nights.
Right.
But he said, I'll pay for your room for tonight. And, you got me on that flight, but
yeah.
Fine, you probably need to find some money to get back home or whatever. Pay, get you a ticket for back home. And she was like, I don't have money to get back home.
Motherfucker.
And I don't have money for a room and everything. He was like, well, you made a decision. Like, we've been kicking it and talking or whatever, and I've been talking about bringing you out and whatever. And I don't think it was real blurry that I felt like we were getting together. And she was like, well, I didn't know, and I just didn't know, and I didn't want to kick it with you like that. And he was like, well, that's cool. I don't have any problem with that, but you need to, fend for yourself. I don't really pay for my boys to go on trips and go out homies and all that stuff or whatever. So, we cool, but you got to do you. You got to take care of you. And she was kind of like, she was stranded in the end. And so the big debate has been. So many
things wrong with that.
Yeah. Big debate has been, like, if a man, or a woman takes you on a trip and they pay for things, like, are you obligated to have sex?
Whew. So what I would say is this. First of all, when you're dealing with adults, right? Some things, what's understood doesn't have to be explained.
Yeah.
So I feel like it's wrong for a woman to agree to go on this trip with said guy if she doesn't intend on putting out. However, if she makes that known up front,
yeah, that's a different story.
Then he can choose to take her or not.
Yeah.
Also, I would pray that my daughters wouldn't go on a trip with a guy and not have money, not be able to fend for themselves, to take care of themselves. Because yes, there's a lot of bullshit that's afoot. Yeah. I mean, there's so many things wrong with this. And I've been the guy that, you know, took girls on trips because for me, that was my way of setting it up so that I could get in the box. Mm-hmm. Like, honestly, I remember many of the times that I've taken females, hey, you want to go to the beach with me this weekend or whatever? And usually when they say, yeah, in my mind, I'm like, we fucking.
Yeah.
Like, seriously.
Shit, if I say it to a man, we fucking. Okay. If I pay for a trip, like the dude said, I don't really pay for my homies like that. Now, I'm females are different. We'll pay for our girls or whatever and stuff like that. And I'm not going to say that I wouldn't pay for a male friend if he he really wanted to go or whatever. And we was really that type of friend.
Yeah, but he got to hit you back though,
yeah,
right?
Right. So I can't say that. I wouldn't ask a man on a trip that has been trying to get at me or whatever and think that it was nothing. Or I wouldn't go on a trip with a man who's been trying to get at me and just, he ain't come at me on no let's play cards or
right.
On that homeboy type shit. He ain't come at me talking about his girl and what should he do to get back right at the house. He came at you like, what's your number? I want to get to know you, blah, blah, blah. And if he says he wants to take me on a trip, then more than likely I know that he's expecting something. So my thing is, like you said, my daughters, they wouldn't go on a trip without money. First of all, my dad don't believe in you crossing the town lines without some change. Like you need some money. I don't care where you going. You don't go anywhere without no money. Period. Right. Point blank. Yeah. Especially with somebody of the opposite sex. Even with your homegirls, because you never know this day and age. A lot of people have went out with their girls and didn't come back. So you don't go anywhere without your own money because ain't nobody really responsible for you but you.
Real shit.
But I would hope that in light of what Johnny said, raising daughters, that I didn't raise them to need to go on a trip so bad that they would, try to bamboozle somebody like, just to get somewhere. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. But see, if they've been places, then you taking them someplace ain't gonna be like, dude, I went there when I was 12. Or I went there. You know what I'm saying? Like, if we give our kids that kind of journey along the way, nobody can dangle something in front of them and make it seem like, oh, you never been here or whatever. Because they like, well, I've been there and it's close, or I'll go there when I get money.
Come on and go with me.
No. Your place is cheaper than that trip.
It is. But even going to a guy's house at a certain time of night, you have to be cognizant of what you're agreeing to or the impression that you're giving to said guy. So here's the thing, as an adult, I understand that if a woman invites me to her place after the club, for example, in my mind, she's trying to get it in. That was my mindset, when I was out here moving and shaking. Mm-hmm. So that's kind of what I would expect. Like, oh, we're going to your place. You invited me back. We're going to have a few drinks. We might listen to some music, but
in the end, you hoping, and it seems like more than likely it's heading in that direction. Because usually if you're vibing somewhere, it's little hints are thrown.
Right.
As far as touches or whatever, you know what I mean? So there's some hints thrown. You can't tell me that girl didn't get no hints in the conversations that they had up until her getting on this flight. That
even if not, like, just say, hey, you know what? Okay, I've invited women places and they accepted, and then it went down. But I've invited women that were like, yeah, well, I don't think I know you well enough to be going out of town with you.
I'm not going on a trip with some dude.
If you're not ready
share
your cookies.
I want to go on a trip. No, just because I want to go on a trip. First of all, my stranger danger senses is so goddamn high. I'm not going on no trip with somebody that, I've only talked to. And, and it's just like, hey, you should come to my hometown or whatever. Yeah, probably not. I don't know whether you a serial killer in your town, whether you the dude in the town known for bad breath. I
Yeah,
don't
right.
know
Yeah.
what your shit is in your town.
Yeah.
So
Real
no.
shit.
But I feel like in this day and age, like people really do just hop in their car and drive 10 miles and whatever. And we know people that do that.
I used to do it, and I used to have women do it. Like I was on the dating apps. I've mentioned this before. And I meet young ladies that were maybe, you know, a city over or across the state line or something like that. And, you know, or I've met like some women that were like 2-3 hours away. And they'd invite me to come up or whatever. And me being who I was, I would go with no expectations. I don't know if I can.
You hope there was something that was gonna go down, but it's like if we just hang out and have fun, that's okay too.
Yeah, but if I go a few hours away, you know, and that's been how it has always been with me when I was just out here moving and shaking like that. If I met a girl on a dating app and I went to go visit and it was a few hours away, generally speaking, it went down. Like they were inviting me for that reason.
Yeah.
So anytime someone has to travel, it's kind of like, what else are we going to do? Yes, I can get to know you, but we've spent a lot of time getting to know each other already. So now we're in a situation where, you know, with some late night shit, you know, as adults, we're expecting it to go down. So what I'll say is that it's very important to set boundaries early and to make your intentions known.
Yeah. And say, like, not even for just the person inviting. Like, if you are like, yeah, I would love to come to your town, but I don't really want it to be like that. So I'm going to get my own place.
There you go.
You don't have to pay for me to come out. I'm going to pay for myself to
come out.
There you
go.
You know what I'm saying? Like, do it that way. So that way, when you get there, if dude is, you know, a mud duck or
on some bullshit,
you can be like, nah, I'm about to go back to my room, which has no ties to you.
Right.
I'm about to get on this flight that you can't stop.
Right.
Because I paid for it myself and I got enough money to get home, to eat while I'm here. Because what about when, where was that everybody went a couple of,
was it Atlanta? Was it the All-Star Weekend?
All-Star Weekend. And the chicks didn't have money to eat, to get around or nothing. It's like, you don't go out of town like that. That's some dumbass shit.
Was that in L.A.? I don't
remember where, Miami or something.
I drank
Ain't no
too
telling.
much.
But you don't go out of town on no bullshit, no rah-rah shit. That's some stuff you might do in your hometown.
Exactly.
You know you can possibly call auntie or somebody to get to the house. And that's some immature shit.
It's young girl shit for real.
Yeah. But that ain't no young girls doing it.
That ain't no grown woman shit, but grown women are doing the shit because I don't know if they just don't know any better or if they don't understand. There's an etiquette to everything.
Everything.
There's an etiquette to everything that you involve yourself in, that you place yourself in, that you put yourself in. There's always an etiquette. And so trip etiquette.
Tripping and dicking.
If
I'm taking a trip with you, if you taking a trip with me.
Yeah. The cookies are expected. Let's say that. I'm not going to say they should be.
Too.
The cookies or the goodies, let's say the goodies. The goodies are expected to be on display.
Around. Yeah.
So what I'll say is, as a man, if a woman invites me somewhere and it's like that, I'll ask questions. Like, it's very, just clear this shit up. Yeah. Ask questions.
No gray area, no fog, no nothing. Let's just
make your intentions known up front. The problem with a lot of men is that we are deceptive. Because in my mind, as a younger man, I was like, if I take her out of town, she's stuck. So chances are
she's gonna give it up.
She's gonna do what she gotta do because of whatever. That's
a bad mentality.
That's it's fucked up.
Yeah, because it's kind of like I got you trapped.
I wouldn't want my sons to behave that way.
Yeah, my son, I'm choking.
I wouldn't want my sons to behave that way. So in reality, I feel like if you know, like, hey, look, I want to go on a trip, you know, I'm interested in you. I'm hoping something can go down.
Mm-hmm.
And she may say no. But see, here's the thing about, so here's the thing about traveling with the opposite sex. When you're traveling and you're out of town, you're out of the country especially, it's a festive atmosphere. People are partying, people are drinking, people are having fun, people get touchy-feely. It's a very euphoric atmosphere, and you feel a certain way, and the vibe is high, and life is happening, and it's wonderful.
And
so
it's like
chances are,
it's like this stuff is only gonna happen one time,
right?
Like,
so chances are, it kind of puts a motherfucker in the mood anyway. You know what I mean? So, you know, even, and this was my thing. Even when women told me, "Okay, I'll go with you, but ain't nothing gonna happen," in the back of my mind, I'm like, "Oh,
yes, it is. We gonna have fun."
I'm saying okay, but in the back of my mind, I'm like, "Shit."
And my thing is, if you tell me ain't nothing gonna happen, we going as friends. Cool. Don't get mad when I walk away with somebody else.
That too.
Like,
that piece.
If we going as friends, which I do feel like, even though I know they say men and women can't be friends and they can't do things like that, I feel like
I disagree.
I disagree as well. If you've got a group of friends, a group of people that have known each other, for a while or whatever, there may not be nothing between them. Don't die on me.
I'm trying.
Trying not to.
I'm trying not to.
Okay. There may not be anything between them, but for real, a genuine friendship, and they go on these trips and they hang out or whatever, and they do their own thing as far as when it comes to bringing somebody to sleep with. Not even bringing somebody with them, but wherever they stay or whatever, they meet their own people.
Yeah.
Like you say, you out of the country, you meet somebody and you hang with them for 4 days. And it's like, I may not ever see you again. We had a ball.
We had a great time.
Exactly. So I don't feel like men and women cannot go on trips and not have sex, but I feel like it's a very clear line. Like it's already been talked about. We already know that it's gonna fall off. We already know that there ain't nothing between us like that. I had a guy recently who was talking to me about how he don't like to he don't want to be in a relationship and all this other kind of stuff, but he does, meet women, and he'll be like, you want to go out to eat, you want to do this or whatever, you want to go on trips. He said, but I let them know up front, like, I want to have sex. Like, if you say you're going on this trip with me, we gonna have sex. He was telling me all of these stories, and I could not blame him because he's upfront, and he was so upfront.
Gotta respect him.
Yeah, you gotta respect that because he ain't leading nobody on. And he said, like,
right.
As far as like women who are like, nah, I don't really want to go out to eat or nothing like that, but I'll have sex with you. He's like, I don't want that. He's like, I don't want that. I kind of want a little chemistry.
I want to spend some time with you. I want to get to know you. I want to desire you.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. That's how he said. He was like, I don't really want that. But then he turned around and was like, we should go out to eat. And I was like, nigga, no. You just told me that
if I feed you,
yeah, I'm gonna fuck you, right?
That's a sucker dick steak, ain't it? Yeah.
So basically. I was like, yeah, nah. He was like, nah, I don't know. It ain't like that. It ain't like that. We could just go out to eat. He said, now, we go out more than 3 times, though. But
I'm expecting.
I want something.
And that's the whole thing.
But again, I was like, I ain't going, first of all.
So the fault lies.
I can respect that.
The fault lies in that particular situation that you mentioned, that you referred to. The fault lies, in my opinion, with both parties. The communication obviously wasn't clear. Now, I don't know if she agreed to some things like inadvertently or whatever, but the fault lies on him for not making his intentions known up front. And it lies with her. But I do understand how a man wouldn't, because it's kind of like, we just gonna see what happens, because
it's
that's
like,
the
you come
thrill.
out here, we just hang out, we can go out, we can eat, I can take you to so and so and so and so. But the thing was, I think it wouldn't have been so bad if she was like, I don't even want to hang out with you. You know what I'm saying? It's one thing to say, all right, cool, I'm here. And he say, okay, I'm gonna come over, we gonna go out, whatever. And you go, and then somewhere during the night, you're like, you know what, this is fun or whatever, but I don't really want to sleep with you.
If I'm paying, you staying. Period.
Dripping and dicking. But I feel like the fact that she really thought she had the unmedicated gall to feel like she was just going to get on that flight, talk to him all the way, to the airport, at the airport. I'm off my flight now. Where'd you say the room was? Blah, blah, blah. Get to the room, and then like, nah, I don't want nothing to do with you. But now you in my town, and you think you just gonna run around on my dime. Was
it his town, or was it like,
I feel like it was
a destination?
Maybe it was a destination, but I feel like it was his town. I feel like
I saw that, and I felt like it was more of a destination
trip.
Like, like, okay, we're going right now. Everybody's running to Tulum like Tulum is going somewhere. But okay, whatever. Nipsey said this shit in a fucking song, and now everybody wants to go to fucking Tulum. Okay, cool. Because prior to Nip, I never heard this shit. I never heard of Tulum, and anyone who knows me knows that
he's traveling.
I do some traveling, but Mexico has been one of my spots. I've been to several different places in Mexico over my lifetime. Never heard of Tulum. You know what I'm saying? And I got like Mexican homeboys and shit. You know what I'm saying? My son's mother is from Mexico, but never heard of Tulum. So when I became aware of it, I was like, oh shit, okay, that's a new spot. You know, new to me.
Check it out, yeah.
Check it out or whatever. So hypothetically say I'm going to Tulum and I invite a young lady to go to Tulum with me. I'm gonna say, hey, I'm going to Tulum. Cause see, here's the thing. I'm not making a special plan and a special trip for you anyway, because we just met, like, or we haven't been intimate yet or whatever. Mm-hmm. I'm going to Tulum. Would you like to come? And then, you know, the conversation is had and maybe she asks, is it on you? Yeah, it's on me. Like, you know, but then you have to find a way.
Say it's on me, but you better be on me at the end of the night at some point.
That's slick.
Like,
yeah.
You just can't really assume that somebody really spending their hard-earned money.
But you can't assume that this woman is going to give you the cookie just because you're spending your hard-earned money.
Then this woman shouldn't assume
the conversation should be had.
Definitely.
That's
all
it.
the way across the board.
That's it.
All the way across the board.
I'm telling you, I've met women and I know women who have said to me, like, look, dude, I want to hang out with you. I'd love to go on this trip, but ain't nothing happening. I've even invited women back to my place and they were like, well, nah. And then I've said things like, okay, look, I'll give you my bed. I'll sleep on the couch.
And then usually, honestly, if you're halfway a gentleman and she
that's the whole piece.
Bit,
right.
She gonna be like, I don't, you know, even if she says she don't want to have sex, she's still gonna want to come in there and be by you or something like that. Because that's just how women are.
And if they come and lay next to you, chances are it's
closer.
Going down. But see, as a man, you have to be
careful.
Tactful.
Yes.
Because it's easy to get caught up in your desires and what you want and be thirsty, but you have to be willing to accept whatever the outcome is.
Yeah. That if she says no, no means no.
So here's the thing. I'm going to tell you a story. Want to hear about it? Here it go. So, buddy of mine was like, yo, going to meet, I've told this story before too, going to meet a good friend of mine which was a female companion of his, at the Waffle House. She has a homegirl with her. He and I were hanging out. We were hanging out already. He got the message or the call or whatever. Like, hey man, I'm going up here to meet old girl. She got a homegirl with her. You want to ride? Cool, man. I'll ride with you. Whatever. But I don't think I rode with him. I think I drove my own car because that's just me. I ain't really trying to get in the car with nobody. I want to leave when I want to leave.
Most people.
So, okay, boom. We go to Waffle House. I meet the young lady. Young lady does not seem interested in the slightest. She's like talking shit to me. She's giving me a hard time. Okay, cool. As the time wears on, we get to talking. Now we cuddled up on the hood of the car. You know what I'm saying? Now communication is happening and she's vibing with me.
Yeah.
So it's like, hey, I want to come back to the crib. I had the bachelor pad. Why not? Okay, cool. She agrees to come to the house. They come back to my house. I'm like, hey, you know, whatever. We listen to music. You know, I think they might have smoked some weed or whatever. I ain't a big fan of weed. I get paranoid and shit. Can't do it. I think too much. I'm an overthinker. In that sense, I'm not really an overthinker, but when I get high,
I'm an overthinker off air. So
listen.
Mind your business.
Can't do it. So, long story short, we get to the house. We go in the room. We lay down. my mindset is, yes, she wants the D.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
So I start touching and feeling. She said, I'm high. Can I go to sleep, please?
Okay. She said, I am not in the right state of mind.
Right. But me being who I am, or who I was and who I am, I'm a gentleman. I say it all the time. Okay, cool. Go sleep. I'm sleepy too. But I'm like, not really solidly sleep, because especially when a strange woman comes back to your place,
like, I still
you can't really rest the way you want to rest, because you don't know if she gonna text niggas and be like, we over here at 24,
Come
25.
He got a nice TV, he got this, he got that. Yeah.
Drunk nigga lane.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So
gullible ass lane.
With gullible ass lane, right. So then, I wasn't really sleeping as well as I could have. So come early morning, in my mind, I'm like, you said no till last night because you were high, but maybe this morning you feel a little different.
Things are different.
So then I started licking on her neck, touching on the box. She woke up and she didn't stop me. So we proceeded and it went down. The deed was done. So there's a lesson in that as well. You know what I'm saying?
Patience.
No doesn't mean never. It means not right now.
Yeah. It means respect what I'm saying at the moment. And most of the time,
and the
if
whole
you respect
thing is, maybe sometimes that's all they want from you. I want to know that you will respect my no.
Exactly.
And once you respect their no, it's like, nigga, I'm attracted to you and I want to give it to you. I had every intention on giving it to you, but allow me to play a little hard to get.
Exactly. And that's true. Like, most of the time, what is the saying that, like, if a bra and panty match, she already made a choice before she went out with you? It's not really true. I'm one of them people, for the most part, that my bra and panty always match. So that don't mean nothing. It's just the day. But in a lot of cases, I know that's not true for most women.
Yeah.
So it may really mean something, but you still need to let those words or those actions speak before you force yourself upon them.
Mm-hmm.
But back to the tripping and dicking, you just really, like, what mindset do you have as a woman to think that just because you get the right to just be like, I'm going to take whatever you give me monetarily, whether it be the flight, the room, the food, the cash, the bag, whatever, and just be like, nah, you ain't nothing to me. I don't want to hang out with you. I don't want to be seen with you. I don't want to, like, why would you think that's okay? Like, that's why you don't take gifts from people that you don't really want no dealings with. Like, I don't care if I am broke as a joke and you offer me $75. If I don't fool with you, your $75 is no good here. I will eat my quarter noodles somewhere and go about my business and go back to where I can be free and it's free, because I don't fuck with you like that. So you shouldn't really just have the mentality of, if, he give it to me, I'm going to take it, and think that they don't really
you can't do that.
Expect something from it. And maybe it ain't right, but it's real.
It's real. And that's the whole thing. Like, okay, oh shit, about to fuck up. I'm about to fuck up the church's moolah. So this is what I'll say. When it comes down to tripping and dicking. When it comes down to that, I find myself, not now, but when I was doing this shit.
You and your disclaimers.
I have to give the disclaimers, man, because I'm like, and it's not.
Because you got hoes in the bed, hoes under the,
it's
hoes in the trunk.
Man, it's a devil. There's a devil on every doorknob. Promise.
Oh.
But no, so my whole thing was this, like, whenever a woman came to hang with me, I was never in a hurry to get in the bedroom anyway, because I wanted to stimulate them mentally. I wanted to stimulate them, emotionally. I wanted
you want a connection.
So yeah. And so I was never like super big on foreplay in the sense of physical foreplay, But mental stimulation and mental foreplay, like that was my forte. That was my thing. I was like, look, we could talk, we could have conversations, we could kick it. And that was cool. And in the process of doing that, I would learn enough about the woman to know whether or not I even wanted to make an attempt to sleep with them. So, tell the story.
Like to hear it?
Here it go. We went on a trip to the beach, Bike Week, Myrtle Beach. If you know, you know. So
ratchet.
Some would say. But it's a single man's paradise. Mm-hmm. So I went with a group of guys. I was single. They were single. We were all very young. And we met a group of young ladies that were like kind of equally proportioned in the sense of like maybe it's 5 dudes and 5 girls or 5 dudes and 6 girls. Yeah, that sort of thing. So, you know, the homie was like, yo, man, I met these chicks, man. They want us to come. They staying. This was the piece, the caveat. The beauty of it was they were actually staying at the same spot we were staying at. So it's like, man, they stay in the same spot. Like, you know, I invited them to the room, whatever, because we had liquor, we had bottles. You know, we were hanging out, having a great time. So they came through, and I've told this story before as well. But they came through, and we were having a good time. We were drinking, we were eating, we were enjoying ourselves.
Still up.
You said, so what?
No, I said it's still up.
Yeah. So we were enjoying ourselves. So it got to a point where I realized that the young lady that I had kind of shown some hooked up with, shown some interest in, the vibe was mutual. I realized she was eating chips. She was broke. She was down this motherfucker broke. Yeah. Because they had gotten one room and it was like 5 motherfuckers in one room. Like we had a group of guys, but we all had we didn't all have our own room, but we had more than one room. Let's say it like that. We had more than one room, and when they came over, you know, or came up, you know, we had options. Yeah. So the young lady that I was actually talking to or dealing with, I realized like she was eating chips and shit and French fries. Like she
might be a little bit hungry.
Yeah. So we were like, we're going to eat whatever. So she's like, yeah, I'm on, like, my money fucked up. Basically, she didn't say it that way, but she alluded to it. And I was like, okay, cool, man, I got you. So boom, we go eat, have some drinks. I pay for the shit. It's all good. But what ended up happening was when we got back and she was in my room with me, I think I went to the bathroom. I came back out. She was in the bed naked as a jaybird.
She was thankful.
She was grateful. Hungry. She was grateful. Because like potato chips, man. You eating chips, nigga.
You know, it's one thing it's according to how far in you too. Like, is this the end of the trip and you eating chips? Or this
is like day 1, day 2 type shit. We just got there. Already. We just got there. You on chips and fries. Week. You on a bird diet. They ain't even a fucking. So anyway. So I told her, I was like, yo, you don't have to do that, man. Like, we good. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And she's like, you sure? It's like, yeah, I'm sure, man. Like, you good. Like, and this is during my savage days. I was a fucking menace and a savage. Hungry. Thirsty. So anyway, I was like, yo, you don't have to do that. Like, we're cool, man. She was like, well, I just figured because, you know, you pay for my this, you pay for my that. You know, I know how guys are and yada, yada, yada. But
that's at least a terrible mentality to have as a woman. Like, oh my gosh. But at least
she understood
that. Yeah, I'm taking
the dynamic of what's going on in real life. And me being the stand-up dude that I was in that instance, because I wasn't always, I had my moments.
He wasn't always
I wasn't always a stand-up dude, but I had my moments. And I had a moment. And I was like, nah, it's not that serious, man. We cool. Fast forward to the end of the story. Never slept with the girl. You know what I'm saying? And she tried to like get at me because she was like, man, you're so fucking cool, man.
Yeah.
You know
so,
what I'm
but
saying?
she wanted to give it to you because of your actions, because of your behavior, because you didn't force it upon her, because you didn't actually degrade her because she didn't have money, and then say, "Oh, you don't want to give me none." Da, da, da. You know what I'm saying? Like you didn't treat her like that, and I get it, but the bigger
One
picture,
of my finer moments.
bigger picture is like what part of her brain or her life taught her that this is what you got to do.
I don't know.
And that's sad. Like to
I
think
don't
that
know.
you got to do that. I know.
But I commend her for at least. So here was the thing.
I get
she
it.
understood, like, I can't expect this man to spend his money.
Yeah, him to keep giving and don't receive
nothing. To take care of me for the weekend and not expect something. So, and I know that sounds real shitty.
But all of it sounds shitty. Her mentality about it sounds shitty, but then, in a way, it's right. Like you said, like you don't expect something for nothing. But it's sad that somewhere along the way, somebody showed her.
I don't know where she got it from.
Yeah, you never know, because as much as the older generation like to say these girls ain't nothing but hoes and nada, but them uncles that was coming over and dropping off a little bit of change.
Yeah, there wasn't really uncles.
That was there when you was asleep. You would see them happen to leave.
Yeah.
Whatever. We don't think about that. I know
dudes that would show up with a fucking $3 chicken box and fuck all night. Now, if that's what you wanted to do as a woman, that's your right.
Yeah. Because, hey, sometimes we want what we want. And it ain't got nothing to do with what you bringing to the table.
Right.
I just need you to come over. The chicken was a ruse for them children. throw that chicken at them kids.
Right. A ruse.
Ruse. I said it wrong. But.
That's true.
It's not always like that because women like sex just as much as men, even though.
In some instances.
No, in all instances. Women like sex. They might not like it. Particular women may not like it as often. They might not like it from the person that they're with at the moment or whatever. But we do like sex. Like, contrary to what they say out there, sex drive is down there.
Twinkle toes, you're breaking my heart.
I'm just saying. But
yeah,
if it's your own choice, then kudos to you. Like
kudos.
But if it's not, and you're really just trying to come up or look like you got it like that or whatever,
because
that's
media,
what a lot of it is.
The thing is, I want to go on a trip with you so that I can post this shit all over Instagram, all over Facebook, all over Twitter, or where the fuck ever it is that you do your posting, your social media shit. You're trying to get that off.
Mm-hmm. I want to make it seem
expense
of somebody else,
of someone else. It's like the dude that the girl taking pictures. She's taking the pictures of her plate and this and that, and he like, you gonna share me with the world
for it? Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And if you really, is it really that much of a floss if you can't do it for yourself?
You gotta do it for you gotta be able to do it for
yourself. Like, it's nice. I mean, if that's your man or that's your woman, it's not,
not
that's
a big
fine.
Deal.
But if you're just like going with people just so I went there or whatever. But if you can't do it for yourself, if that person is gone, then you still ain't came up on nothing. You went on a trip that you will probably never go on again in your life.
You're showing up even as a guy. You show up at Shorty's room. Because I remember, I'll never forget this, man. So I want to say this. Okay, I can say it because it's not incriminating. So I remember meeting one of the biggest female drug dealers in my city at the time. And she was with the shits. She was like, come to my room, this, that, and the third. Me and my boys had a room. We put ice. We filled the bathtub up with ice. And we had beer, liquor, champagne, just in the ice. And the girls had another room, and the girl had a very popular name in my city. So everybody was like, this is such and such. And I was like, yeah, I heard about you. You know what I'm saying? I ain't know who she was. I never met her, but I'm like, I heard about you. Yeah, okay, cool.
Yeah.
So, and she was on me. She was like, I was young as fuck. She was actually older than me. I was probably 19. She was an adult.
Mm-hmm.
But,
y'all don't care.
Yeah, I was like, the better for the dicking, my friend, my lady, whatever. But you know, she made her intentions known, like, hey, I'm trying to get that.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And I was like, shit, I'm with it.
Of course. But of course, madam.
Yeah, I'm with it. But so I remember distinctly referring back to that situation,
mm-hmm.
I went along with everything that was going on because at that point it was like, look, I got the spot, I got the weed, like I'm
all
gonna
the
set
things
it.
a young person.
Yeah, I'm gonna set it all out for you. And after you take your fill, I need you to fill me up.
Yeah.
Basically. So I had a choice to make. Either I'm is or I'm ain't. Right?
Is you is or is you ain't my baby.
Is you is or is you ain't my baby. Tonight. So I went and I was like, shit, I'm cool with it, man. Whatever, I'm with it. So we did that. The point I'm making is this. Even in that, I had a choice.
Mm-hmm.
She didn't take my choice from me by being deceptive because in so many words, she let me know this is what I'm expecting.
Exactly.
I got you.
But this is what I need from
This
you.
is what I'm expecting.
Yeah.
But I'm like, you the biggest dope girl in Charlotte. I'm going to give you whatever the fuck you want because at that time, I was in the streets.
Yeah.
And I was trying to get money. I was getting money, but I was trying to get more
money.
So my thing is, you one of the best type of friends I could ever have. You know what I'm saying?
You got a friend in me, and you're
the plug, and you know the plug.
Exactly.
Shit, it's a win-win for me. I'm gonna get
you can't lose, no way.
I'm gonna get some nookies and some cookies.
Yeah. So I mean, I just definitely got to be upfront, but you can't have that I'm gonna take mentality, and I ain't gonna never give, or I'm gonna play you to the left. You think somebody ugly? Then get the hell away. Don't accept things from.
But y'all fuck ugly niggas all the time.
Who? Not I said the cat. Not this cat. Not
what
this
you say?
cat.
What you say the other night? You say, well, who in here? But that shit was fucking hilarious.
And I have, and he was definitely. I guess I learned my lesson. At one time with that dude, I said I wouldn't go to the game with because I don't like bleachers because he was ugly. He wasn't really. We was cool.
And don't hang out with the nigga.
We was cool at the house.
No.
And I know, but this is what I'm saying. I said he was my lesson because I knew that you can't do people like that. We hung out a lot. We dated. This is younger years. We dated or whatever. But I just really felt like, and I don't think I'm no beauty queen or nothing like that. But I was just like, I don't know anybody I can show your picture to that they ain't gonna say bless your heart. And I mean, hey, like I'm just being honest. Bless his heart.
Little ugly thing.
I know he's 19. Bless his heart. That ain't even no baby though.
Little ugly thing.
But you know,
whose baby is that?
But I feel like in a way he was that guy who, you know, made me understand that when people do things for you, they feel like you owe them something. Because he had a little bit of change. We were younger. He had a little bit of change. His people had money or whatever. He automatically, you know, felt like, without being too bold with it, he in ways let me know he felt like he was a little bit better than me and my people. That his people was.
I'm me.
Well, I get it. So, you know.
No, that was probably his.
Yeah, because he was he was from Atlanta or something, so he felt like back in it. But to me, I was like, I don't give a shit that you from Atlanta, but whatever.
Listen,
but that's how he felt.
Yeah.
And he definitely, you know, kind of put the airs out there that I'm
that nigga.
If we doing this and I feel and I'm that nigga, and I think it was some drug activity in his family or whatever. And I think where it came from, he was that dude, even though he was not pleasant on the eyes.
Moving different.
No, not pleasant on the eyes.
Well, yeah.
Like, you knew he was, this how you know that his family was into some shit, because he had a velvet painting of himself. It was a velvet.
What is that? Velvet?
It's beautiful, but it wasn't, because he was in the painting. But it was... like a velvet painting of him, whatever. And I remember thinking,
but
like,
I mean,
hey,
velvet painting didn't mean you had money, did it?
No, it didn't mean. But I said that let you know that they were that he was somebody in his family, you know, and his people. He was that golden.
Yeah, because my mom never had a velvet painting.
He was the golden child. You know,
not to say that she couldn't have or wouldn't have, but at the end of the day, like a photograph was good.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Olin Mills, motherfucker.
It was a big one. It wasn't a little one. It was a big one.
Yeah.
But he made it known. But like I say, that was my lesson that I knew I couldn't really deal with somebody that I didn't find pleasing to the eyes, because I wasn't going to. I don't care how cool we were or whatever. My what is it? What is it called? What's the word I'm looking for? My
Your judgment?
Me being shallow was not going to you know, let me go out.
Your superficial self.
Yes, my superficial self was not going to let me go out. And I remember, like, we were dating, you know, even though I wanted to stay in the house, we were dating. And I remember that he cheated on me. Right? With this girl.
It's gotta hurt when an ugly nigga cheat on your ass.
Right. I was like, how dare you?
Because it hurt when an ugly. I used to date a girl that looked like a monkey. No bullshit.
It does hurt worse when they ugly and they cheat, because you like, I gave you a chance. Like
you chipmunk, chick having motherfucker. Exactly. Like, seriously?
Like, who gave you the right?
Look like a motherfucking spider monkey, James Brown daughter looking ass motherfucker.
All of that. Like, you lose all the respect.
Now
you get
I'm
disrespect.
Now you got me in
the street looking crazy.
Looking crazy in the motherfucker. Like, hey man, your bitch ain't even fine, dog.
Exactly. And that was me. And I remember the girl was like, you know, bragging about it. And I was like in real life, you were only talking to him for the money or whatever. Like, I did kind of like him. I just couldn't go outside with him. But I was like, you slept with him for the change.
That's fucked up though.
Yeah, it was. I said I learned my lesson. I ain't been ugly. So I ain't been with, you know, nobody that wasn't, you know, at least average. That nobody wasn't going, you know, say like, God damn, what, you know, when he came in the room. Since
this the motherfucker you was talking about?
Exactly. That's your man. Like, if you like it, I love it. You know that wouldn't be me.
If you like it, I love it.
Yeah. So, but he had that kind of, and I remember when we broke up, like, he was, you know, how you give your hoodies and your sweatshirts or whatever. And he was like, hey, give me my stuff back. When I tell you my family was happy as hell that we broke up. My mama was so disrespectful once she realized that, because, you know, parents got to be nice. So she was like, you know, like, oh, okay, that's your little friend. Okay, whatever. Then we broke up. She was like, man, get that little ugly motherfucker all his shit back. Like, I'm so happy.
I don't even know why the fuck you doing this.
Right? They were like, not even offer anything other than, like, that nigga was so ugly. What the hell was you doing? I'm like, but he was nice. You know, they were like, yeah, nah. Anybody that ugly ain't gonna be nice that long. That was what my people.
But you would think that the ugly motherfucker gonna be nice the longest.
But he wasn't. He wasn't, because I think he felt like he was still the man. He felt like he was still living off of his Atlanta.
Well,
this ain't Atlanta.
You know what I say about those types of situations?
What?
You get what you get when you do dumb shit.
I did some dumb shit, but I only did it once.
You get what you get when you do dumb shit.
I did. But I wasn't, even though he felt like he had that's another thing. He felt like he had to give and pay and have the expensive stuff or whatever to make him likable. He wasn't a person that you wouldn't like, but he felt like he had to buy your friendship and your love and whatever like that. And I wasn't
paying for love.
I wasn't really like that. I've never been that girl. Like, I wasn't that girl. I wasn't that teenager. I'm not that woman. So
looking, putting up in all the wrong places.
I'm not doing this with you. But
looking, putting up.
But it just didn't work. It wasn't like anything crazy or whatever. But I then was like, yeah, I'll never take anything or let somebody feel like, because they got a little bit of something, that I owe them something.
Yeah.
And that was, you know, younger. And I've never, again, like, you just can't buy me. I'm not materialistic about things that I can't get for myself.
I feel you. Let's get to the meat. The meat of it for me is this. If a woman if as a woman you decide that you want this is how I imagine. It's just me imagining how I imagine the conversation would go with the homegirls. Girl, you know ugly Tony.
Lil Ugly. We ain't gonna say his whole name,
right?
Because somebody might find it, so we just gonna say Lil Ugly.
You know, Lil Ugly invited me to the beach. I wouldn't mind going and hanging out because he cool, but I think he gonna want some cookies. Your homegirl, but see, this is the deception. The homegirls be like, girl, go down there, live your best life, take pictures, have fun. But what your friend should be telling you is, you trying to give him some? Because if not, then I'm not saying you can't go, but you need to let him know what's up.
Yeah.
Right?
The right people around you will tell you the right things.
And that's the whole thing, man. The biggest problem that I've seen with people in my age demographic from the time that we were in junior high until now is got a lot of fake ass, phony ass friends that ain't keeping it a buck, ain't keeping it real.
Yeah.
And they're not telling you like what life really is and what's really going down and what's really what it is, right? So they're saying, girl, you should go.
And I'm over here screaming, but I don't like him like that, and I don't really want to go.
But I feel like that's how a lot of niggas get their girls too.
What?
They fly them out, they take them somewhere, and they fuck the shit out of them. And then if you fuck a woman real good, she forget you ugly.
Good dick will do it. Good dick will do it.
A little dab would do.
Yeah, a little dab would do you. Because it would do, like, that's why we was cool.
Oh, so you was fucking?
Yeah, we was fucking.
You know what? I don't even.
I just didn't want to go nowhere.
But you was fucking the dude, and you was enjoying you. Okay,
I like,
time out.
But I said I liked him.
Flag on the motherfucking plate.
I liked him, but
you liked his personality. You liked who he was. You liked how he was fucking you. But your only qualm was you didn't want to be seen in public with the nigga because he was ugly.
First of all, you know what happens when you fuck.
Somebody nuts.
Somebody nut. You know what happened when nut meet the right places? You reap a fucking deuce. And I, from a small
deuce.
child, have been the person to look at people and go, would I make a kid with them?
Would I, could I, should I?
Exactly. Like I knew him and I saw his father, and there wasn't much change in the 1 to the 2.
But you moved different. You moved different.
What I wasn't gonna do was make a 3. And it was younger years or whatever, but still, you could possibly get pregnant.
Listen, if it's free, it's for me, and you could possibly come home with 3.
But do you take the chance? The little monkey girl, would you have been okay?
I wouldn't have been okay, but I was so young, and I was just happy to be getting some ass from.
I ain't never thought like that.
From a motherfucker that was basically grown.
I ain't never thought like that.
That it was like I probably was willing to sacrifice my lineage.
No, not me. I've never thought like that. I've always been like, when you meet a guy, look at his people. Even with my husband, like when we started dating or whatever, I thought he was very handsome, adorable. But I was like, I really need to see his people. And when I saw his siblings and his mother and whatever, I was like, oh, okay, I can do this. Because, and if you ask my daughters, it may seem shallow, but I'm like, you need to look at their people. If you decide and you want to spend time with them and you could possibly want to be in a relationship and reproduce. If they people ugly, you know your mama gonna say the baby ugly.
Yeah, mama she's not gonna.
The mama gonna say, that baby.
So, but sometimes the mama wants to spare your feelings, so she might be like, "Oh,
not this mama.
Ain't he precious?" When they hit you with that type of shit,
bless his
heart.
You
need to be direct and say, "Mama, is that baby ugly?"
Bless his heart.
I remember my aunt said something one time. Girl tried to put a baby on me. Shit. My aunt said, nigga, if you think that baby is yours, you a stupid motherfucker.
Mm-hmm.
She said, this is what she said to me. She said, show me one motherfucker in our family that look like that.
I saw you doing it. Dang it.
And it broke.
It broke, yeah. You got.
I'm so hurt. My heart is broken.
I'm just glad you did it and not me. But yeah, I one of mine brought one home, and for a long time, not for a long time, but for the immediate few months, whatever, we was like, that ain't yours. That one right there, it ain't yours. Like it ain't rocking right. But then as the baby got older, we were like, oh, straight, that's all you, because it grew into their face and whatever, and it wasn't ugly. We just was like, that baby don't look nothing like.
No, it happens.
Yeah, but
it happens.
The baby is his twin now, and like we didn't treat it bad or whatever because it wasn't ugly. Well, that's just because I'm trying not to say the name or whatever like that. But
the baby.
No, I can't.
You can say the baby.
I feel like I would mess up because it's family that's close to me, so I'm saying it, and I don't want to. Yeah. But we didn't really think that it was our families, and for a second he was looking cross-eyed at it too. Like, I don't really know, but I know I was there, so it's possibly mine. But it really didn't. It didn't take on features and stuff like its siblings and them until it got a little bit older, and they are spitting image of each other now. But and like I said though, it wasn't a bless your heart. It was just that don't look like us.
No, I get it.
Yeah, so there's a difference in that.
Yeah,
there's a difference in that.
Yeah,
but all of those things could happen. It's like, imagine tripping and dicking with somebody you don't really want to be with or have no ties with. You think they ugly and everything, but because they done paid for this trip and you screw them and the condom break, and now you stuck with this ugly baby because you wanted to go to Miami, not even out of the country, but just Miami. Well, you know how pissed you gonna be.
Perhaps, maybe yes, maybe no.
Probably not if they got a little paper and that means you tied in for life and you got some money.
Yeah.
So you might be okay. But that's not for me. And everybody ain't everybody's cup of tea. I'm not everybody's cup of tea. You ain't everybody's cup of tea, even though you think you might.
I don't. I'm not for everybody. Everybody ain't for me.
Yeah. So, what doesn't work for me may definitely work for you or somebody else, but it's just not for me. And taking trips with people I ain't got no interest in being in that way with, it ain't for me.
So, in conclusion, this is what I say. If a man invites you on a trip.
If a woman invites you on a trip.
If someone invites you on a trip and they're not your cup of tea, then you need to speak up. Because there's nothing, and this is the problem I have with our people and people in general, is the fact that we're afraid to speak up and say what the fuck we're thinking. I appreciate a woman who says, I want to go on a trip with you, but I'm not fucking you. Now, in my mind, did I used to think that she's going to do the shit anyway? Absolutely. And 90% of the time it did happen. But here's the whole thing. Like, pay attention to what the fuck is going on around you. Pay attention to who you are and what you want, what you desire, and make a decision based on like realistic expectations. Will this woman be down with what the fuck I'm suggesting? And if she's not, guess what? Get wood. All you got to do is say, hey, listen, I'd love to spend time with you on this trip, but there's a level of expectation here. I want the motherfucking cookies.
And as the woman, she needs to be able to say, I get it, but I'm not on that level yet with you. And wait a minute, let me finish it. And we're friends.
But respect his no.
Yeah, no.
The same way you want him to respect your no. That's all I'm saying.
But see, I'm not gonna say that. Let me finish. I'm responding to you. I get that. I want to go on this trip with you because we're cool. We hang out, whatever. But I'm just not on that level that you are yet. So we can still go on this trip. But how about I pay my own way, and I pay for my stuff, but we still on this trip together. But so that way there's no blurred lines.
No blurred lines.
We're together on the trip.
You
but
can
we're
sleep
gonna see
where
how
you
it's
wanna
gonna go.
sleep.
Yeah, we can get rooms next door to each other. We can be in the same hotel or whatever.
If it's the type of thing, because you might catch a motherfucker that's like, all right, baby girl, I feel you, like, no pressure.
2 beds in one room, whatever.
Yeah. Or if it's some shit like, I'll sleep next to you, but we not fucking. He might be like, listen, let me just snuggle on your booty, because you know.
Well, I feel like the closest you should get with that is let's get separate beds. And then that way, whatever happens during the day or the night will come organically. You saying
that's the whole thing.
Yeah, you just got to be
let the
real
shit happen
about it.
organically.
And don't go nowhere without no money.
You got to take your fucking money.
What the fuck? Like, if you can't afford to go, if you can't afford to feed yourself when you get there, you should go. Because you know what you need to do? Eat to live.
Yeah, you might die on this fucking trip. If you decide that you're not going to spread
and
the jelly.
And it's a nasty motherfucker, you're going to be a hungry bitch. Male or female.
Kels would have let your ass starve, motherfucker.
Kels would have gave you some water and mints. Throw them in the room. But
if I ain't no sausages.
I'm going to starve anyway.
And a bottle of water.
I'm going to starve anyway.
But it'll sustain your life. You will make it.
I ain't eating it, though. I'm petty. And child, I ain't eating it.
You petty?
I ain't eating no Vanna sausage.
Let me tell you something. When you go somewhere on another nigga's dime, you can't be petty.
I would just starve. That's what I'm saying. I would just starve. I wouldn't eat the Vienna sausages.
You hate Viennas?
With a passion. And I don't hate many things, but I hate Vienna sausages. I don't use the word hate in everyday life. But what I hate, some Vienna sausages. They smell like dog food. Look, you know, in your defense, I knew you did. The way you got protected.
I look like I eat Vienna sausages.
No, you don't. But the way you protected the Vienna sausages in the conversation just that quick, I knew you ate them.
No, I ate Vienna, man. I don't eat them. Come on, man.
He could just throw me a hot dog out.
Give me a slice of bread with some, but I'm country though.
Okay.
I'm from New York. I was born in, I wasn't raised. I was born in New York, but
then they gave
I was raised down south.
Cream of wheat.
No, don't you cream of wheat my motherfucking ass. Ain't nobody eating cream of wheat. That's the nastiest, sweetest, tasting
delicious.
Shit.
It's fucking delicious.
No.
Fucking delicious.
I'm not putting sugar in my grits.
That's because it's not grits. It's cream of wheat. It's delicious.
I prefer oatmeal.
I love oatmeal.
Y'all can have that cream of wheat.
I love oatmeal
shit.
with everything in me. I will turn down Bojangles, Denny's, Waffle House, and everything for a great bowl of oatmeal with some trash in it. I'm my grandmama's granddaughter. That's all I'm going to say.
And on that note,
no tripping and dicking without your own ends, without a clear cut standard of what's going on. And take your own money. That's the biggest thing.
Take your own money.
Go.
Like at the end of the day, don't depend on niggas for nothing, man, because niggas will switch up on you based on what you're willing to do and what you're willing to give. And, you know, I speak from the position of a father that has a daughters.
Yeah.
My thing is this. I want you to make great decisions in life. I want you to be the best version of yourself that you can possibly be. And when it's all said and done, respect yourself. Respect other people. And make others respect you in return. Yeah. And the only way to do that is to be self-fucking sufficient.
Yeah.
So
be able to stand on what you say.
Able to stand.
Your daughters are younger than mine.
If you want to get flowed out and you want to fuck, that's on you.
Yeah.
That's on you. You can do that. But reserve options.
Yeah. Like I was saying, my daughters are older than yours. So I feel like I already passed that test because they ain't really about that. Like they don't take things just to say I got it. So I know me and my husband, we did that part right. We got that part right.
Okay.
Don't do it, people. It shouldn't even be a debate. It shouldn't be a question on whether it's okay to pay and you stay and don't put out and all. It shouldn't even be a question like that because everybody should have a better mindset than that at an age where you're able to be flued out. Like
Real
at that
shit,
point, you
yeah.
should really have all of that stuff together. You might not have everything together, but you should know that that ain't what you do. That ain't the move.
And I'm not knocking the motherfuckers that's getting flued out and they fucking. I'm not knocking that.
If that's what you want to do,
Because
do
if
it.
I'm
Like,
single and I fly you out, I'm not mad if you fucking.
that's
just
what you
being
want to
real.
do that.
If I'm single and I fly you out, I'm not mad if you fucking. We could be married and I fly you out. You fucking.
Well, if you're married, it's
Not necessarily.
you must be getting ready for divorce. If I fly you out and I don't know if we fucking, like, that's kind of odd.
But
And-
you got a motherfucker. You got motherfuckers that'll be like, yeah, we fucking on Tuesday.
Well,
That's
yeah.
it.
Well, bitch, I'm only flying you out on Tuesday.
You can't do that with your spouse.
Well, if I gotta wonder if I'm fucking my spouse when they come to town, that's a problem.
What the fuck when they come to town?
You said
How the fuck is
flying.
you married in the motherfucker?
Well, that's what you said. If I fly out my
I'm
wife
talking
or
about
my
fly
spouse,
out in the sense of we going on a trip.
if I go on a trip with my spouse and I gotta wonder if we gonna fuck, that's a problem.
That is a problem.
Yeah, okay. Don't make me think I'm crazy. That's a problem. I shouldn't wonder. Might it be
If you gotta fly your spouse out and wonder if you gonna get some dick or ass,
that is a problem. Now I might wonder if we gonna have it every night or is it just gonna be whatever. But
vacation is every night sex, like a
at
motherfucker.
some point,
Like it's nasty.
some point during the day,
It fills the air like incense. Like we just getting it in. What is that you're wearing? Sex.
Sex 1209.
Exactly.
But yeah. So yeah, that's what I was saying. Like if it's your person, it shouldn't even matter. And then to backpedal on that, people can be friends of the opposite sex. Go places as groups or whatever, and everybody ain't fucking. It ain't no real orgy. It's just people that you have a connection with over life that got your back, whatever.
Men and women can be just friends.
So
it doesn't always have to result in somebody sucking somebody's
or
titties.
Nothing. Like they can be friends. And if you're one of those people who feel like men and women cannot be friends at all, like that says something about you.
You need to evaluate your motherfucking self.
Yeah, it says something about you.
At the end of the day, like, is that what it's all about? Like,
so in
your mind, it's like if we ain't fucking, it ain't going down. Like,
we can't be friends.
We can't be friends if we don't fuck. Like,
because first of all, we ain't.
But
friends
I was like that, in younger life.
Well,
I was
probably.
like that.
I
but
can
as an
see
adult, I'm like, shit. Like, I can be friends with a woman and not necessarily have sex with them because at the end of the day, everything ain't for everybody and every box ain't for you.
And I'm about to say, do you want to really just think about the people that you deal with in the course of your life, in the course of at this era in your life?
Mm-hmm.
Do you really think about the people in it? Do you really want to have sex with all them people? Like I think about the people that I deal with and some of my friends and male friends and whatever. And it's like, ain't no way that you would, I ain't never gonna fuck. You know what I mean? Like, no. But we
shit,
people. But they're my people,
Like, listen, you can't fuck the homies. You can't fuck the homies.
And if it's always a problem whether you are, then it's that's a whole nother podcast. But yeah, tripping and dicking should not be that big of an issue if you have adult conversations beforehand. Don't leave any card unturned and make your wants clear, your demands, your restrictions, everything clear off gate. Because you should not be a grown ass woman being stuck somewhere because you can't get back.
Please stop going on these trips, bro. My recommendation is don't go nowhere that you can't take your motherfucking self. That's my recommendation.
I agree. Couldn't have said it better myself.
And with that, good night, motherfuckers.
They motherfuckers, damn.
Oh no. Let me get right. And with that, we say good night.
Good night.